Let's head over to the instructor lecture controller and fill in the CRUD functionality. So the first thing we want to do is a store method to create a lecture. We're going to have an update method to update a lecture and a destroy method to delete a lecture. So public function store, and this is going to take the course lecture data that we created. It's going to take the course and it's going to take the section that the lecture belongs to. Then we need a function to update a lecture. So public function update. It's going to take the course lecture data as well. It's going to take the course and it's going to take the lecture that you want to update. So public function destroy. It's going to take the course that the lecture belongs to, and it's going to take the lecture that we want to destroy. So over here in the store method, we just need to create a lecture in the database, right? So lecture will be equal to store lecture action, which is an action we generated already, run, and that action will take the data, it will take the course, and it will take the section. In fact, we could just pass the section and the data only without the course if we wanted to, but let's just leave those three parameters going through. Then when it's done, we want to return lecture resource, make lecture, and that's it. Now, one thing that we're going to do here later on is to add an action to reorder lectures when a new lecture is created, because we want all our lectures to be numbered from 1 to whatever the number is, regardless of the section that they are. So if we have 3 sections, then all the lectures belonging to the sections should be numbered in sequence, starting with 1, 2, 3, and if it's a new section, we don't really care about that. We just keep numbering all the lectures going down, which means that if a new lecture is created in the first section or in the second section, we want to reorder all the course or all the lectures so that they follow a sequence, and it will be easier for us later on to pull the lectures and play them or display them to the user in the front end. So here I'm just going to say add a method to reorder lectures, and that will be a placeholder for us to come back to later on. Now let's go and quickly flesh out the store lecture action, which takes the course lecture data. It takes the course and it takes the section. And actually, while I'm here, I changed my mind. I'm not going to pass through the course to this argument because we can get the course ID from the section. So I don't really need to pass the course to this action. So when we create a new lecture, we need to get a sort order for that lecture. And to get a sort order, we need to go through all the lectures that belong to that section. And then we get the maximum sort order for the lectures within that section. And we just increment it by 1, okay? So max sort will be equals to section lectures max sort order. Okay, and here we need to return section lectures create the course ID will be the course ID of the section, the title will be whatever we got from the data, and the sort order is going to be the max sort value. Now you see what will happen here is that you potentially have two lectures that have the same sort value. And that's all right for now because we are going to reorder the lessons later on. Because if you have section 1, for instance, and it has lecture 1, lecture 2, and then you have section 2, and it has lecture 3, which is what we want, and lecture 4. And those will be the sort orders for the different lectures and the sections. If we create a new lecture here, what we are doing is we are basically looking for the maximum sort order for these lectures, and we are adding 1 to the sort order. So the new lecture we create will be 3. But you see that we will have 3 there, and we will also have 3 under the next section, right? Which is all right for now because it places this lecture in the right context within that section. But overall, we want to still have something where everything is adjusted with 4 and 5, right? So we want to still have that sequence of ordering for all of our lectures, which is where we are going to create a new method or a new action. After we create the lecture, the new action will be responsible for reordering all the lectures within a particular section. And the reason we are extracting this to a separate action is because we may need this functionality elsewhere. For instance, when we delete a lecture, we might want to reorder all the lessons for that course to follow a sequence again. So here we are going to generate an action, PHP artisan, make action, lecture, and I'm going to call this action reorder course lectures action. And we'll call that action here. So reorder course lectures action and run. And to that, we are going to pass the course that we want to reorder the lectures for. So let's go into that action. It needs to take the course. So just like we did for the sections, we need to pull out all the lessons that belong to the course, ordered by the section sort order as well as the lecture sort order, all right? Because we don't want, we want to make sure that lectures in section 1 are put together and in section 2 they are also put together. So we are going to write a query that basically joins the sections and the lectures, and it orders them so that all the lectures for the sections are together in sequence. So lectures here will be course lectures. Let's say join sections, where the section ID equals, where the sections actually .id equals lectures.section ID, and then we want to order by sections.sort order. So we are sorting the entire thing by the sort order of the sections first, and then also order by lectures.sort order. So we are sure that all the lectures for section 1 will come before all the lectures for section 2. And then we just want to select everything in the lectures only. So lectures.start. Okay. And we can call get on that query. So what we're doing here is we are simply doing a join between the sections and the lectures. And so we are taking the lectures, we are joining all the sections to the lectures, and then we are ordering the entire query first by the sort order of the sections and then by the sort order of the lectures. And from that, we're just selecting only the lectures. So from that list, we just need to look through the collection of lectures. So lectures each, that takes a function which gives us the lecture and the index. And for each of them lectures, we're just going to do lecture and update. And the update is the sort order will be equal to the index plus 1. And that's all we need to do here, okay? In our controller, we reorder. First of all, we save the lecture in the respective section to make sure that it's in the right section and in the right order of that section. And then we do a reorder of all the lectures for that course so that they are still numbered in series from 1 to whatever the last lecture is. And at the end, we want to send back the lecture that we created. So at this point, it's possible that the lecture sort order has changed because we did refresh it here or we did update it here. So we need to get a fresh copy of the lecture object and send it back to the front end. So that's it for storing a lecture.